It all begins with an Icelandic manuscript. It dates back to the 16th century, containing what it seems like a handwritten note, which even the geologist's mind of this young man is struggling to understand. But this young man eventually cracks the code. With much effort, he deciphers the text, but what he finds terrifies him. Ani Saknussemm was a 16th-century alchemist who allegedly discovered the center of the Earth. He made such a groundbreaking discovery, albeit no one believed him, by what it seems from the deciphered paper plunging into a volcano. Yet this is not the terrifying part. What scares the young man most is that his uncle will not think twice before jumping into the volcano himself, and even worse, ask the young man to join him in it. As the mere thought of jumping into the volcano with his uncle scares the life out of him, he decides to burn the note. However, as he is about to throw the note into the flames of the fireplace, he spots a figure standing at the doorway. He freezes in horror as he sees the face of that man. It is his uncle. Brendan Fraser did a movie called Journey to the Center of the Earth. This movie came out in 2008 and in essence was based on the 19th century French novel by Jules Verne. Given its questionable graphics and over-the-top Fraser performance, this movie was kinda entertaining as a kid. However, it could not replicate the soul of the novel completely on the big screen. What it lacked in the grounded authenticity of the Vernian novel, it made up with drama, loudness, and fun visuals. The making of the movie is not the subject of discussion today. Today, we look at the novel by Jules Verne. The story begins with a German professor, Otto Lidenbrock, an eccentric scientist who lives for impossible discoveries. He is described as an old geologist, very gruff and unpleasant. He is in possession of an ancient Icelandic manuscript, hidden between the pages of which is a strange piece of parchment, the handwritten note. Along with his nephew, the professor tries to decipher the note, but to no avail. Eventually, he walks out of the parlor in frustration. But when he does return, the nephew was about to burn the note. Lucky for the nephew, his uncle wasn't even paying attention. He was lost in his own thoughts. Later, the professor solves the paper on his own, and the nephew's nightmare comes true. The professor drags him along on the trip to the supposed center of the Earth. Surviving turbulent sea waves and bad weather, they reach Iceland. Here we meet Hans, and I tell you, this guy is the most dope character in the entire story. Stoic and resourceful, this guy barely utters a sentence or two, yet he saves the scientist whose bottoms multiple times than they can imagine. As they descend into the volcano and progress further, they reach the entrance of multiple tunnels. They enter one of the tunnels. The journey gets difficult and frustrating. It's a matter of time they find out they had entered the wrong tunnel. By then it is too late to turn around, as they are exhausted and nearly run out of water. The nephew is slipping in and out of consciousness. Here, Hans, the Chad that he is, knocks on the walls of the cave and discovers an underground river flowing in it. The geologists are elated and very much saved as they carve out some water for themselves. Rightfully so, they name the river after Hans, the Hansbach. After this, there is a steep surge of adventure. What follows is a bunch of crazy shenanigans, enough to keep you hooked for what is to come. From underground sea below the Atlantic Ocean to prehistoric reptilian death matches, from making a raft out of prehistoric bones to surviving a subsurface sea storm, from towering ferns and mushrooms to mastodons and humanoids. The Vernian imagination keeps you hitting with the thrills. One thing you will notice while reading this novel is that Jules Verne includes both geological and paleontological theories like the central heat theory, the geological time capsule, the hollow earth hypothesis, and so on, alongside the actual plot happening in the novel. This keeps you hooked with adventure while still asking intriguing questions to the established scientific norms of that era. If you have only watched movies based on this novel, I would suggest you read this literature. This work of Jules Verne has its own relevance, despite it being more than 160 years old. If you are looking for an old school science fiction adventure literature, this is the best leisure read for you. It is simple and engaging, and at times makes you think if it is really possible to push human limits like the professor, the nephew, and Hans. If you have made this far, thank you for watching. This is Fiction Gravy, and next time we'll meet with another piece of literature.